One thing I'd like to actually ask you about, which is another thing that I think is particularly interesting around death, and that's this question of whether we move into a so-called new or higher or other dimension, because I think there is this element of, because there is this assumption about finality and, as you say, nothingness. I think having this thought or idea, concept that there are other dimensions that we can move into actually implies the reverse, that there is a somethingness, if you like, that we're moving into. I mean, what's your sense about that? I mean, is that something that...
Well, the Vedic point...
And can we do it, can we actually move into other dimensions whilst we're actually in this physical third dimension, if you like?
My kind of view is that as long as we're identifying wholeheartedly with the material body, thinking, this body is me, therefore we will tend to experience life simply through the instruments that the body has, the eyes, the ears, the nose, the senses, like that. As soon as we start to identify ourselves not as the body, but as the driver, the animate soul within the body,
yes,
we then have opportunities to experience existence, not just through the physical means, but through other more subtle ways of gaining, through the soul means of gaining wisdom and insight and understanding of the world.
Yeah.
So in that sort of heightened awareness, certainly we can contact kind of broader dimensional kind of existence. Possibly, you know, to the level of the, you know, pure spirit.
Oh, okay, right. So that's beyond our own, if you like, spiritual existence.
Yes.
I mean, how do we connect? Or do we just have an awareness of a different level of existence? Is it just a different level of vibration?
Well, I think the first thing that the Vedas suggest that we experiment on in terms of a broader awakening is understanding ourselves.
Yes.
In fact, the Gita gives, in terms of this issue of death, the Gita gives a very interesting meditation. It says, kind of think back to your earliest childhood days. Where were you? Think of a kind of happy moment, as early as you possibly can. Just think about...
Any particular age? No.
Early as you can.
I know. Particularly happy incident.
Or any incident. It's a vivid incident.
I remember a particular birthday party. It may have been 5 or 6.
Quite old. Anything earlier than that?
I remember something when I was 3.
Yeah.
And not a particularly happy moment.
Okay, doesn't matter. Go on.
Crying on the bed, I think.
All right, so
something had upset me.
That was you experiencing then. Yeah. That was you there.
Yeah.
And how big was the body that you had then?
Well, I mean, I
probably about.
Yeah. Oh, I see. In physical terms.
Physical terms.
Yeah,
like
probably
that,
about, I don't know, something like that, maybe.
Yeah. So the question is, where is that body now? It's easy to say.
Subsumed by my existing body?
We might say it is, but actually in biological terms it's not.
Right.
Because the atoms and molecules are going through constant change within the system.
They've all gone.
And it takes different parts of the body kind of change at different rates. But on average, within 7 years, there's been a complete molecular change of the physical body. So by the time that body was 10, there was none of the original atoms were left.
Yeah.
So that's changed a couple of times since then, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, what about the emotions?
No, but the point is that there's not one atom or molecule of that 3-year-old body present in the room today. But you were there then, and you're here now. But the body that you had then isn't here now.
Yeah.
So the Gita says, does that indicate that perhaps you, as the person experiencing the emotions, not just the emotion, not the memories, but the person who is experiencing the emotions, are something different to the physical body? And that the body is changing from from childhood to youth, adult to old age. This is simply the change, but the soul remains the same constantly. And death, it's just another change. You've already changed bodies within this lifetime so many times. And death will simply be, it's perhaps a little more sudden, a bit more jarring of a change, but you've already changed bodies. So have faith that when it comes time to change the body, At the sudden point of death, you will continue to exist in the same way as you've continued to exist through all the changes up to now. You will continue to exist in another kind of state.